Hello everybody, it's Paulie Esther here, and if you remember the last developer update of Dead by Daylight, they told us that they were going to do a survivor visual update. Let me refresh your memory on that. It was with this bit of the developer blog that said, if you've had your eye on our social media for a while, or the many places they were reposted, you may have seen some early previews for survivor model updates. These visual updates are part of the realm beyond our ongoing effort to improve the visuals of the game. Some of you are dying to know when you'll see these updated models in game. You won't need to wait much longer, as the updated models will appear in the mid-chapter update, which is available now. We'll go look at all of the model updates right after this. With that said, we've also seen some people ask why. When the game first launched, a lot of things, characters included, featured a completely different art style. You can still see some of the traces of this in the original Survivors. Look closely at Dwight's shirt and you'll notice a watercolor effect that isn't used anymore. As time went on, we moved towards a more realistic style with more detailed textures and refined models. This left some of the more recent Survivors looking great, while others started to feel a little dated. Our goal with these changes is not to change the characters significantly, but rather bring them up to date. We've been playing with these Survivors for years, and some of us have grown very attached to them, some of you a little too much. We've seen that art you've made. This is part of the reason why we've been sharing previews for so long. We've been combing through your feedback to make sure that the updated versions of each Survivor are as similar as possible to the ones you know and love. If you've been losing sleep over David King's smaller brow, you can rest easy. We've gone back and made some adjustments. With that said, here's a quick taste of what you can expect in case you missed any of the teasers. Please keep in mind that these previews do not include animations, so expressions like Ace's trademark smirk won't appear here, but don't worry, he's still got it. And then they had some pictures of the characters here. But we don't need to see this, because we're just going to go right into the game, and we are going to see what they look like in the PTB right now. So probably the best way to show you this is to go in the game store here, and we'll just pick the characters one by one. I have them all dressed in their default cosmetics already. So here you can see the vast difference of the watercolor style of Dwight's default shirt here, and then you can see these slight changes that they have made to his face. I think his head seems a little bit smaller to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just because the hair is a little more slicked down, not as poofy as original Dwight. So we'll just go through one by one and we'll look at all these characters here. So it's supposed to be the first 13 Survivors were changed. Some people said even more than that has been changed, but we'll go through the first 13 here anyway. So from Dwight, we're going to switch over to Meg. Meg's hair got a little bit poofier, and she put on the angry eyes. She brought her angry eyebrows to work today for the fog. She's looking very determined. Most of these I do really like the changes. I think the changes are really great for all the Survivor looks, honestly. The angry eyebrows. Next we have Claudette. Claudette's a stunner. She looks great. They did a great job on her. No real issues here at all. Wait for her to go through her idle animation. Very reserved. I like that. I like that animation for her. It looks pretty cool. And cold. It's cold in the fog. Cautious Claudette. Next we have Jake. Jake got one of the more significant, not the most significant, but one of the more significant facelifts here. A lot of people are like, whoa, Jake is hot now. So I'd be interested to see like what the play rate of Jake looks like now, if more people want to play Jake because he looks so different, or if it'll stay the same. That's a nice looking change. Next we have Nia Carlson. This is one people seem to either love or hate. Some people said, well, she went from badass bitch to looking like she's about to cry now, like there, but I don't know. I think it looks nice. Next, we have William Bill Overbeck. Okay, so now Bill was not on the list, I don't believe, and he's still work in progress here. You can see that they're trying to get the materials right, upgrade the materials, and they don't have his beret done yet, which is why it has this placeholder here and no textures at all on the beret. Is just blank. So we'll come back to Bill maybe when this chapter's live. Well, I'm assuming when the chapter's live it's going to be finished. David King. David's a little harder for me to tell here. I think they made his busted nose a little more pronounced. You David King, Team David people, you're going to have to let me know exactly what's different about him here. It does look like the brow is a little bit more minimized. And his idle animation where he just thumbs his nose, I don't really get a good look at his face either. Let me see if I back out of this. Can I get a better feel for it? Next is Lori. This was an incredible makeover here. He looks really great. They did a tremendous job with Lori. Still, you know, different enough that he doesn't look like Jamie Lee Curtis anymore, where it's a likeness issue, but he looks younger to me. That makes sense. I think everyone approves of this one. I didn't see really any complaints about this one. Now we're going to move on to Ace. So on PTB Day, I gave Ace a lot of trouble about this smirk. And I was like, what did they do? They're like, oh, we kept this smirk. And then they're like, but that's what it looks like. But I went back and looked at the live build, and it really isn't that different. I guess I just didn't notice that his smirk looked like that in game close up. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe I was too hard on it. I thought that he went from charm to smarm with the smirk, but looking back, it doesn't look that different than the original. So I don't know if it's like his face rework makes the smirk look worse to me or what, but the animation does seem to be the same as the original for the smirk. So I don't know. What do you all think? Is this off-putting? Does he just look like a creep to you when he does that? Or is it still charming? You decide. Let me know what you think about this. To me, it looks like he's trying to fish something out of his teeth with his tongue, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. Next, we have Feng Min here, our gamer. This one, I didn't really look at the original textures on the cosmetics. Like, you can see a lot of textures popping here on her outfit. I have to go back and check and see what the original textures are. I think she looks fine. I think a lot of people were saying that her bangs were hanging too low before. So I think this is a definite improvement. And depending on what the resolution was on your game, sometimes the bangs could be like see-through and look really awkward. So I'm really grateful that they made the change on her. Next, here we go. Are you ready to fall in love? We got Quentin Smith, the most significant change here from Sleepy-Eyed Quentin. This is so different. I still don't think that it looks like Kyle Gallner, which is kind of weird to me, considering they had basically talked to Kyle and had his permission to make the character look like him. But I don't think it really looks like him, but it definitely looks better than the other one that did not look like Kyle Gallner, the actor who played Quentin Smith in the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street movie. He just kind of looks like generic horror movie heartthrob to me right now. Doesn't look like Kyle, but he doesn't look like a goblin anymore either. So I think there are going to be some Quentin mains out there who are going to be like, I miss old Quentin, but I think most people are very pleased with the change to Quentin. That was the biggest winner coming out of this PTB here. Detective Tap. These changes are a lot more subtle for me. It doesn't more of the materials. I don't think they really changed a lot facially in the cosmetic without the hat. Maybe some patches of gray hair are a little more distinguishable, but I didn't really see a lot of difference here from the original. But you know, the materials all look great on that one. Let's go ahead and let's see. Let's just change it to the other head so we can see what that looks like. I'm doing default on everybody here normally, but let's just have a look at this one. Detective David Tapp. All right, next we have Kate Denson. Hers is a pretty significant change as well. This is one that people either love it or hate it. I've seen some people say that she looks like a mouse with this expression here. They don't really like her nose. This one's growing on me. When her mouth is closed, it doesn't bother me, but I can see what they're talking about with the mouse features when she has her mouth slightly open. And then when I go through the rest of her catalog, like the other cosmetics don't bother me at all. Like if I change her head to, let's say, this one, then I really like all of her other head cosmetics. So this one's really grown on me a lot. I don't know. There's definitely people who are in different camps on this one. This is one of the more controversial changes, I would say, for sure. But I like it. Next, we have Adam Francis. Adam, I think they cut down his hair a little bit. Better textures on his hair. His face, I've seen people say that he looks a little more tired under the eyes. But this one looks good too. You can see all the material on his coat. Adam's a very underrated character in my opinion. He deserves more cosmetics in general. I like him. Next we have, oh, he heard me. Did you see him look at me? Next we have Jeff So Handsome. Now he was not on the list as one that was changed. I do not believe. Let me double check this really quick. The list of this stuff. Patch notes says updated the facial models and the textures of Ace, Adam, Claudette, David, Dwight, Fung, Jake, Kate, Lori, Meg, Nia, Quentin, and Tapp. So we're done according to their list. Nobody else has gotten changes. I've seen some people say that this looks different to them. Like you can really see the leather on this. So maybe some of these aren't completed all the way. It could be just them putting these models like into 4K. I don't know. But that one looks, maybe he doesn't look different, but he looks sharper, if that makes sense. I don't know. And the same thing with a couple of the other ones. The Jane, I didn't really see any difference here either. You let me know if you think Jane looks any different. That one, I don't see anything. Ash didn't get any changes that I know of. Looks the same to me. Again, if there's something you're seeing that I'm not, let me know in the comments. Same thing with Nancy. I saw some people say that they thought Nancy got a change, but I didn't really see anything here either. Same for Steve. I think these newer characters are considered, you know, the modern versions, and they don't really need sprucing up. But Yui does look different to me. So, I think they did update Yui's face model. Let me know what you think. And I think this is different than how she was delivered originally, but she's not on the list. So according to the list, she wasn't changed. Same thing with Zarina. Some people think that Zarina looks different, so this could be more of that 4K design. Like, look at all the texture in the scarf there. So she's one of these that looks sharper, but doesn't like really look like they changed anything to me. And then Cheryl does look different. Cheryl looks different to me. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it exactly what they did. I don't know if her face is longer. Something is different about Cheryl here. She doesn't look the same to me. Let me know what you think. Do you feel like this Cheryl's different at all? But most people think that they did change Cheryl in some way. But again, she's not on the list. Felix, I don't really see anything different. He looks the same. Same with Elodie. I don't really see any change, but you know, these are some of the more recent characters made, so it would make sense that they don't really need much of anything at all in the changes, that they should be fine the way they were delivered. And last we have Yoon Jin Lee, the newest original survivor. And then obviously Jill and Leon are brand new out of the box, so they wouldn't need any changes for those Resident Evil survivors. So what do you all think of these changes, these survivor facial reworks and the cosmetic texturing? Who's your favorite? Who do you not like? Who do you think is the biggest winner? Who got hot? Who got not? Let me know what you think. Hey, this is how Facebook started, right? When we started rating who's hot, who's not. All right. Let me know what you think of these survivors. I'll be very curious to hear your opinions on the whole thing. So, but that's all I have for you today. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, let me know what you think of these cosmetics, and subscribe. Ring the bell like a wraith so you don't miss the next video. And don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.